go and live inside of you. They live inside of you. That's where your ancestors are. Each man has his own universe, and when the ancestors go, they live inside of you. So when you speak to ancestors, you're only magnifying your own power. You're only magnifying your own power because they are all in a part of you. We're talking about the same substance. And I'm only telling you what Elegba told me in the damn Orishas. They say, man, we can't help you no more. That was in 95. I said, what? There's 96. I said, we cannot help you anymore. Because you are dependent on us and you're looking at us as an objective entity outside of your own self. Until you come to us like you come to your brothers on the corner, don't come to us. And what was that? That was a way of teaching me that basically, you understand that we are all the same pattern. So at this particular time, I don't try to give the type of respect to the ancestors no more than I give the same people in this room. That's why I say, hey, if you pouring libations, if we're trying to be one with the gods, you understand what I'm saying, or one with the forces, it's kind of stupid to exclude the forces when we're the same damn forces and the forces is inside of us. You understand what I'm saying? You on the video, so they be on the video. And so you got to start looking at these things as random forces of energy, no different than bleach, Ajax, washing powder, gasoline, gunpowder. You understand what I'm saying? A nigger knocker, a whipstick, or whatever you want to call the shit. You got to look at it that way, and you are the one that's in control of that thing. You control that thing because you are the Heru, the warrior. You harness that energy, not the ancestors. Oh, it's all about you. You know what I'm saying? See, the Europe and all that stuff blew that out of the fact that when they were in the mystery schools, they understood at the time because they had a mystery system in West Africa, just like you had the one in East Africa. They understood that ultimately the initiate first comes in, the initiate comes in, he learns all about the gods and all this type of stuff. When he gets to a certain age, about 30, they come in and say, hey, look, them gods been working, they you. Are they gods just like you? And he has to deal with them when he's going to become a god and be one like God. He has to deal with them, and he has to literally take the next 10 years of his life to erase this whole thing based on him being separated from the gods. But after the priests had to go underground based on degeneration and based on colonization and based on wars, they went up underground. So therefore, the high component and the regular people just started worshiping the entities. So what all this and all that kind of thing. Which is 7 major deities, 7 chakras. There's how many hundred other major deities deities? You got chakras and glands, all nothing but the mechanism of your own body. But they lost that magic. So now we got all the new Egyptians. Everybody calling on Osiris and all that. They ain't but calling on their own damn self. You see what I'm saying? We got to get out of this whole Christianized Judeo-Christian mentality. You understand what I'm saying? The way we do these Kamite deities, they are formulas. But they are not just formulas outside of you, they are your formulas. Deities. You see what I'm saying? They're your formulas. And that's the point about it.
Do you know anything about Kamite deities? Kamite. Not termite, Kamite. 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 How do you spell that? Let me go back.
Formulas outside of you, they are your formulas. You see what I'm saying? They're your formulas and all. And that's the point about it, why people not being trained that much in the occult to understand this particular stuff. Don't let nobody fool you. Some of our ancestors and some of the gods are lost. And based on colonization and based on wars, they went up underground, and so therefore the mystery, the higher component died out, and the regular people just started worshiping the entities. So what about the law, this and all that kind of thing, which is 7 major deities, 7 chakras. There's how many hundred other major deities, deities? You got chakras and glands, and it's all nothing but the mechanism of your own body. But they lost that magic. So now we got all the new Egyptians, and everybody calling on Osiris and all that. They ain't doing nothing but calling on their own damn self. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get out of this whole Christianized, Judeo-Christian mentality. You understand what I'm saying? And the way we view these camps.
Okay. What? You don't even know that word? Did I spell it right? Why are you acting like you don't know that word?
Certainly, the Kemet deities, often referred to as the ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses, played integral roles in the culture and daily lives of the people. Central to their belief system was a rich tapestry of deities embodying natural forces, human experiences, and cosmic principles. 1. Ra, known as the sun god. Ra was a paramount figure, often depicted traveling across the sky in his solar bark. He symbolized light, warmth, and growth. 2. Osiris, as the god of the afterlife, resurrection, and agriculture. Osiris represented the cycle of life and death. His story of betrayal and rebirth was central to Egyptian mythology. 3. Isis, revered as the goddess of magic, healing, and motherhood. Isis was a key maternal figure who protected her family and was worshipped for her ability to protect and heal. 4. Horus, the falcon-headed god of the sky and kingship. Horus was the protector and ruler of Egypt. He symbolized power and justice. 5. Anubis, known for overseeing mummification and the afterlife. Anubis guided souls into the afterlife and was often depicted with a jackal head, symbolizing protection. 6. Thoth, as the deity of writing, knowledge, and wisdom. Thoth was credited with the invention of hieroglyphics and was seen as a mediator for the gods. 7. Hathor, the goddess of love, beauty, music, and fertility. Hathor was often associated with joy and celebration. 8. Sekhmet, a fierce deity with a lioness head. Sekhmet represented destruction and healing. She was believed to unleash plagues but also had the power to cure them. These deities, among others, formed a complex religious landscape that influenced art, culture, governance, and the everyday lives of the ancient Egyptians, reflecting their understanding of the world and the forces at play within it. Feel free to ask more questions or dive deeper into their myths and legends.
So Canaanites was Egyptian gods. Got it. I got it.
You know, it's like Nat Turner, who triggered a lot of this, that ended up having this war. When they captured Nat Turner, and they said, had him in court, and they said, who's your leader? He says, Jean-Jacques Dessalines. So the cracker don't know who Jean-Jacques Dessalines is. So he tells the district attorney, go find out who this leader is, because we need to find him. So they come back and say, well, that was the first emperor of Haiti, but he's dead. So they bring Turner back again and said, well, who is your leader? He said, my leader is Jean-Jacques Dessalines. And then they realized he was talking about the spirit of revolution. He was talking about the spirit of Africa. You know? Dessalines coined the word freedom or death. We had the December 12th movement using it today.
They give it to the
but
dude in New Hampshire.
No. Dessalines.
All right, give me something else.
Did you see the fallen angel on the Joe Rogan show?
Constructed this so that if we ever lost our way, we could find our way back. In endless faith, that's our name.
This is an 8-story building, and it's the national monument to the forefathers. That's a fallen angel. They were told in the book, you can't go in. As soon as I saw that angel, it took me 2 seconds to realize where I'd seen him before. And it wasn't anything to do with our forefathers. It had to do with the richest man in the world, George Vanderbilt. Let's go to Asheville and see the Vanderbilt estates. Come on, you're going to know that they carved these statues on Mount Hermon, right in the middle of Asheville. He just said our forefathers made this so that if we lost our way, we could find our way back. The star on the forehead was one thing. The finger pointing up in the air, that was another. But when he said they were trying to get back, that's when it hit me. Because you guys can't go home again. I took this picture last year in Asheville. that sign right there.
Oh,
that's
Asheville. I've been thinking he's
Blacker
saying
right here
Asheville.
discusses the angel and the pillar the earth founded on. But it also says a wind is rising and the rivers flow. You can't go home again. There must be a dozen or so of those things stamped into the concrete all the way around the Masonic. Right after the Titanic sinks, and right as they were forming the Federal Reserve, George Vanderbilt's little chateau, built, which I believe is the biggest house in America still. These angels are all the way around the building on Mount Hermon. In part 2, I'll tell you about the faces off of all these statues. You start to see all the cracks when you look into it, Willis. Ezekiel 33:3 says,
The United States government didn't stop killing black leaders because they had some moral awakening. They stopped because they didn't need to anymore. Once they wiped out the radicals, Malcolm, MLK, Fred Hampton, all of them, the revolution got cut off at the knees. After that, why waste when you can just kill a movement before it even starts? By the 80s, they swapped out black power for black profit. They handed out a few golden tickets, made sure there were just enough rich and famous black faces to sell the idea that the system works. Instead of liberation, they handed out contracts, endorsements, executive positions. Instead of black power, they gave them black excellence. And look, ain't nobody saying black folks shouldn't be successful. But success inside the system is not the same as dismantling it. They let a few through the gates just as long as they played by the rules. And those rules, stay in line. Talk about personal success, not struggle. Build a brand, not a movement. They don't assassinate anyone looking to spy out, or better yet, turn into a joke. Look at what they did to Colin Kaepernick. Stood up for something, got blackballed out of the league. Angela Davis spent decades on FBI watch lists. Fred Hampton, they learned their lesson from him. Don't let him get big enough to matter in the first place. So now, they just lock them up before they can get too loud. Call them terrorists, call them extremists. Turn them into a headline, a mugshot, a social media circus. And for the rest, they dangle the American dream in front of them like a carrot. Work hard, climb the ladder, keep your head down.
What about you? What do they dang in front of you? And why you speaking on black people shit? Playboy. Even though you might be right. But why does it... Why you need to be saying it? Who the fuck are you? And why the fuck should we be listening to you? Instead of trying to talk to black people, you need to go talk to your people, Playboy.
In Genesis 1:1, it is a mistranslation to say, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That is not what it says in Hebrew. It says, in the beginning, Elohim created the universe, or created the heavens and the earth. Elohim is God in the plural, more than one. That's why later on in Genesis 2, God says, come, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness.
My first day coming down.
I wasn't a crack baby. I was one of the motherfuckers putting the crack out there. I'm with Jesus Christ, tripping. Yeah. They seen homies. That's them Hoovers right there. Sit up there. No, cuz no, it ain't got nothing, this ain't got nothing to do with the Hoovers, homie. Sit up there and trying to down us. No, cuz it ain't got nothing to do. We talk about free crip walking. No. Hoovers trying to down us. Hoovers trying to down us. Hey, look, Hoovers trying to down us. No, they don't, cuz. Hey, the Hoovers trying to down us. You doing the wrong thing. No. Hoovers trying to down us. You doing the wrong thing. Doing the wrong shit. Come on.
This is the moment he pulls his gun out, and
so you should know that. You wrote about this stuff and we did it in Lacombe. You should know. You don't remember?
Well, I remember that the guy with the museum came in and said that they were suing you for taking these artifacts.
I want to ask black people, how would you feel if white people held an event every year on the coast, the South Coast, Gulf Coast, and we called it White Beach Weekend? And black people weren't allowed to attend this event.
Girl, we wouldn't give a llama's left coochie lip if you and every other white person in white America gathered together today on the nearest beach eating potato salad with raisins in it and dancing offbeat to the Beach Boys.
But I do have a question for you, Joy. How would you and all of those white people feel if we as black people came to that very same beach that y'all were having White Beach Wednesday or whatever you just said, and we stole you? and we drug you across an ocean to an entirely new continent and made you build a country after stealing everything from you, and then we offered you nothing in return for your services, how would you all feel, Joy? Every single time I hear something like this fly out of a white person's mouth, it just goes to show that you are more of an enemy than an ally. Because what about Black History Month makes you so upset? Joy, do you not understand that we were enslaved for hundreds of years? We were stolen, beaten, raped, murdered, and given absolutely nothing in return after building this country. And so because we take 1 month out of the year and we desire to celebrate ourselves, it makes you upset? And who in the hell told you in that partially crossed eye that white people could not participate in Black History Month? Who said that, Joy? Nobody.
I want to ask black people, how would you feel if white people held an event every year on the coast, the South Coast, Gulf Coast, and we called it White Beach Weekend? And
I'm cooking right now, and I think I might be onto something. Walk with me. This is source. This is light source. Everything, everywhere, all at once. This is the all-knowing. Lucifer was inside of source. Lucifer had an idea and said, I can create light myself. So what did he end up doing? He left. Lucifer jumps out of source to create his own light. He asked anybody inside the all-knowing, do you want to come with me? They said, yeah, let's pull up. So he shows up with his whole entourage in this place. So now you have a brand new light. This is, we can call it source. Like again, so Lucifer jumps out, he creates source. It actually works because he is tethered. He is still tethered to the original source. Actually, this makes it even better. Let me do this. There's still a direct link between this source and the all-knowing source. So in this source, Lucifer creates money, power, status, control. Ooh, I don't know how to spell it. God damn it. Don't judge me. I just gotta go. I gotta get through this. Hierarchy. Let's just go back to the beginning. This is the all-knowing. This is light. Everything, everywhere, all at once. The everything, okay? Lucifer was inside source. He comes down. He creates his own source. The reason why he creates his own source is he says, you know what? I don't need this. I can create my own, okay? And he does. It works. It genuinely works because he's still tethered to the all-knowing, right? And in this source, he creates money, power, status, control, hierarchy. Wait, there's more. Lucifer jumps out because he has this idea that, you know what, I don't need the everything, everywhere, all at once. I can create my own. And that comes from what? Ego. He creates his own light source based off of ego. Like I said, it works. Which is why we have power, our money, power, status, control, hierarchy. Hold on, let me cook. 2020. What did we experience in 2020? Yes, we experienced a mass pandemic, but it was also a great awakening. 2020 is what? In the optometrist field, is seeing. All seeing. Because of that, we ended up creating an awakening through everything, everywhere, all at once. Oh, there's blue and red in here because this is how I'm going to differentiate that. There's a spill, a massive collective from everything, everywhere, all at once, naturally flowing into a great awakening. This spill from the Great Awakening in 2020 is Christ.
Oh, shit.
Before the spill of 2020, we were operating through Lucifer. These were the same, which they are, because they were in the all-knowing, the source. In this present moment, what are we experiencing based upon the 2020 Great Awakening? Boom, Age of Aquarius, which is the spill, a natural spill from the
Bro, come on, bro. You taking too long, bro. You lost. I lost.
I'm gonna tell y'all that when Jesus came, listen, I love you. I love y'all. I'm not here to make nobody look stupid. I'm here to wake y'all up. Listen, I swear to God, when Jesus came for one reason, bro. He's on my life, man. I don't lie to y'all, bro. I was here to play him play games. Jesus came for me to tell y'all was stuck. He didn't come here to put in a book for everybody to run around in religion, gang. He ain't come here for that shit. Like, how can you live life not knowing what's right and wrong? Every mistake I may end up going to hell, gang. How the fuck did I live like this? I'm not playing shit. I'm funny, bro.
That's why. Hold on,
you pointing at me?
That's him, He did that.
What I do?
Watch it here. Watch it here. Hold up. Hey, let's get to this. Since he don't want to say nothing, I thought we brought knowledge with us. You know what I'm saying? And doing it, my boy. But let's get to some reality. Unc said that. Watch it here. Unc said. Watch it here. Watch it here. Listen. Watch this here. Let me tell y'all this here. I done came to a lot of knowledge.
I want to tell y'all that when Jesus came, listen, I love you.
I'm stuck here.
So I had some white colleagues ask me,
Let go of that! Let go of the car!
You ever heard of Backward Billy? Old bow-legged fella with the mind of a 5-year-old. Used to shuffle around town with that creepy little grin on his face like he knew something the rest of us didn't. And get this, he never walked forward, ever. Always going backward. Used to hum these broken little lullabies too, ones no one could quite place. Now they say when Billy was a kid, his mama disappeared up in a cabin fire out near the woods, screaming the whole time. Folks found Billy 3 days later. He was sitting in a circle of ash, just sitting there, sitting his teeth, stretching out his arms, something trying to pull him down into the dirt. And all he said was, "Gotta go backwards so the bad don't catch me." Ain't nobody asked too many questions after that. They just let him be. One night, a bunch of kids decided to follow him out there. Thought it would be funny. Said he was singing, but this time, it wasn't just him. There was another voice, deeper, slower, like it was coming underneath the trees. They followed him to this little clearing, and that's when he stopped. Didn't turn his body or nothing, just twisted his head around like he was on a train. Eyes wide and empty, and he whispered, "He went forward." Only one boy came back, hair gone white, mouth full of dirt, wouldn't speak for days. And when he finally did, all he said was, "He sees you better when you chase. She walks on the ceiling when you look away." You ever heard of...
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Would you learn how to play basketball from a football coach?
I guess not.
Would you learn how to play basketball from a football coach?
You finna crack their back.
If you want to learn how to cook, who would you want to teach you?
A chef.
If you want to learn how to drive a car, who you want to teach you?
The driver?
If you want to learn how to fly a plane, who gonna teach you? How are y'all learning how to be wives and your mother wasn't a wife? You said if you want to learn to fly a plane, you want to learn how to you want to go to a chef. Women don't know what's intrinsically important to a man. They don't know how to be a wife because their mothers wasn't wives. In general, women are raising their daughters to be single mothers. Because they're single mothers. They're like, I'm trying to be strong. Mama told me I don't need no man. And they have raised you to be a single woman. And go be educated. So you don't need to depend on man. Get your education and go to college. They have groomed you to be a single mother. But if you want to be a wife, you have to learn how to be a wife from a wife. The same way you will learn how to cook from a chef. Then once you surround yourself with other wives, then you will know what's intrinsically important to a man. A lot of y'all women ain't even wives. Ain't married. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Most people's souls is dormant, asleep, and that's what the sleeping Buddha is about.
Right.
Most people's souls are dormant. Conscious people, your soul has started to wake up. And your soul, when it's trying to learn about itself. Now that's why it is important that when you become conscious, and then all of a sudden you say, "I'm this mess. I'm getting out of it. I want to go back to being dead." What will happen? You can do it physically, psychologically. What can happen is your soul will start to whip your ass. So what your soul will create all stuff around you to fail.
Amen.
And it puts your life in turmoil until you get back on it, because your soul is trying to develop itself to ultimately become God and come out of the body and become glorified. And now you want to come and be a henchman, nigga. And you know, and your soul's not gonna have it, so you can't. It's an impossibility you get it. You see what I'm saying? And if you just double back, your soul will whip you behind. It'll create all things around you to get you back on track. Most people's souls is dormant, asleep, and that's what sleeping Buddha is about.
Right.
Most people's souls are dormant. Conscious people means that your soul